Hey guys, it's Stacy. So today's video is going to be a speed build on a cottage that I was building in The Sims 4. It's a winter cottage, very Christmassy. I put on the proper shirt, Christmassy, snowflake, red lips. That's why this looks bad. We got a cup of tea in a Christmas cup. So get on cozy, grab your hot cocoa, your peppermint tea, or anything you like, and let's just get started. Oh, if you hear bells, I have slippers that have like bells on them. They're like elf shoes. So you can see me starting off right away in this Mount Kamarabi. I feel like I'm not saying that right. But I'm just gonna go with it. That world, I used the Kiyomatsu Point lot. I think it's a 50 by 50 and it's right at the top of the mountain. I think it's the only residential lot on that section. The world of Mount Kamarabi is so beautiful, and you can see I'm just doing the outside here, but I like the world a lot. And the house I wanted to build, I was inspired by Pinterest. I'll put some pictures in it. I'll pick some I'll put some pictures of it in the video um as I talk, but my inspiration. But I wanted like a medium-sized cottage that like your family goes to. It's like when someone says they're skiing or in the Alps, or they have like a house in the mountains that they go to for the Christmas holidays. This is what I was thinking that it would envision. I was thinking of like a family of four that is just, they like to ski and they like to snowboard and they just like to have a good time. So I really just kind of went with that, and I took it and hit it running. The outside isn't very fancy. Like, it's just very craftsman cottagey. I was going to use the windows from Cottage Living, but then I saw like the exact shade of brown I really wanted to highlight. It was so flawless in these windows, and they all matched so well. I just used them all. You can see I'm like trying to fiddle around the upstairs. The upstairs is going to end up being a bedroom for two Sims. You'll see it later. But the floor plan came together pretty simple. I think that houses like this, where they're very square and they're made of different boxes, they kind of lend to themselves. And the floor plan is just usually pretty easy to figure out. Or very hard. It depends. This one was really easy. But I mean, I'm finishing up the outside here as like the outside with painting the walls and stuff. I do go back and add landscaping, but I really just wanted to try to get the floor plan down as quick as possible. There's literally 30 minutes at least of footage of me trying different floor plans and laying out filler furniture, but I decided to cut those because the filler furniture I chose was the cheapest item from every section, just so I could get an idea, because I didn't care about colors. I was just trying to figure out what a couch fit here, which is why I changed. You can see that some of the filler, but that's why I changed it to a archway instead of a door, because it just wasn't gonna fit. And I know that mirror doesn't really match, but it kind of worked. And as you can see, I figured out my footing a little bit. I think that fireplace looks gorgeous in that room. And my fireplace at my house is actually, it's similar. So I've always felt a certain kinship with that fireplace in a sense. But I am using the high school years pack for the first time in this. I didn't have it when I filmed the first part of the Althea series. And now that I have it, I've been using it so much. I've actually played through it. I didn't record it though, because I just wanted to enjoy it for me. And I figured no one would be interested because it's been like 5 months since it came out, I think. But here I am putting stuff on the shelf on the fireplace. I really wanted to clutter this up, but not to the point where it was like weird. Not to the point where it was weird, but to the point where it was like Christmas and happy, and it just emulated the family I was building. I feel like this family that I was thinking of really loves Christmas, and their cottage is always decorated, but then their house is like, it's also always decorated, but it's not to this degree. Like, this is where they really go out because this is where they are for Christmas, which is why they have the garland everywhere and the images and the Christmas colors in their kitchen. Like, they just this is their cottage for that holiday season. And I changed these rugs later on, but it took me like so long to pick those rugs and layer them the way I wanted. I've actually never really done this, adding a back, uh, like a table behind a couch like this. I think I've done it in a couple other builds before I started my channel, but I really liked the way it looked, and I think it added something to this like open space. I was gonna put a chess table there, but it didn't fit in the house, I don't think. And the TV is the perfect size, I think, for this house. I wish we had a TV that was slightly bigger, but it was still with that style. And that coffee table from Tiny Living is so cute. This bedroom for the parents, the master suite, was hard to do. It like lended itself, but it was hard to do because I didn't want to copy Little Simsy, but she did a build and she used the same wall pattern and the bed. And I really liked that, so I wanted to make it my own. So I tried to choose furniture I didn't think she chose. It slightly blocks the window, but I think that's okay. I also didn't put curtains on the walls because I didn't want them to clip. And I also thought that like maybe their curtains are in the wash or something, you know? I didn't include laundry in here though. Maybe they have a basement that I didn't do that has laundry. I don't know. I didn't really think of it. I play with laundry very rarely. As we continue this room, you're going to see that I make a bookshelf in a second because none of those fit the style or the way I wanted it. And this is what I had envisioned. And originally I was going to put an ottoman or something there, but I just decided not to. I think the room kind of lended itself. Like once the layout was pretty set, it was pretty easy to do. Same with this bathroom. I never use this wallpaper, but I wanted red. I wanted Christmas. So red and white with like white wood accents was kind of the theme throughout the house, but there was also a dark wood accent. So I'm mixing wood styles, which is fine. I don't think it really matters. If you don't like the build, you don't have to download. I really wanted to include two bathrooms because the way that they're positioned, it's kind of makes sense in real life because the plumbing would be in the same area, and I also just thought the parents need their own bedroom. So that's what I did. This layout took a couple of tries because I just could not get the door the way I wanted to. I was thinking of extending it, but I quickly put it back, as you can see, because it took away from the living room space, and the living room is already kind of small compared to the kitchen and the upstairs. So I was really trying to keep that space open even though everything else is closed off. Like I was going to open up the kitchen, but I decided that I liked everything closed off better. The kitchen was probably the hardest part of this build. The kids' room came really easy once I was upstairs. It did take a couple tries, but this kitchen, you can see I am going through every single counter known to man in this game because I just didn't know what kind of vibe I wanted, and I like had an idea in my head, but I didn't want to do a completely white kitchen. So I really was just like going through every single color combination. And here's where I change it. I decided that the kitchen, I didn't like the what's it called? The wallpaper, the tiling in the kitchen when I had it the parenthood one because it just didn't match. It matched the aesthetic, I think, but I don't think it matched the family I had in mind. And I kind of pictured them like they're younger parents, but they're not young. And this is kind of like the kitchen was remodeled with that tile brick kind of thing in mind. I think that it's also important to note that I do not like the cabinets from what is this, Cottage Living? Yeah, I don't like the cabinets from this because I want a plain option for every single cabinet. I did go back and I was trying to fix a couple things that I had forgotten. Like I wanted to incorporate some of the stuff from Tiny Living because I just liked the color scheme and it was red. And then I went up and popped into the kids' bedroom because I was thinking red beds for both. So I was playing around with that. I bopped around a little bit in this section. But I really do like that the tiny living trundle, what is it, like a trundle bed or a Murphy bed, I think it's called. It's a Murphy. But I don't keep it because I didn't think it matched the family at all, and I don't think they needed it in a sense because there's only two kids and two parents, so they didn't really need the extra space because this is a vacation home, and if they really needed it, I think someone could sleep on the couch. I also put a table and chair set in the kitchen because first of all, I really wanted to use that table from I think it's Get Together. And those chairs match so well, the ones from high school years. And I even threw in that coat rack, as you can see. And I had to put up those holiday decor items. Tell me how what is it? Cats and Dogs pack has those nice curtains. They size down beautifully for that kitchen. I don't think you'd be able to use it with two windows, but the three windows worked so well. I really wish I had gotten a red shelf, even though I don't have any CC or anything in my game, because it was a nightmare placing those lemons. I cut out like 5 minutes of me doing that. I wanted to add the cookie jar. It's the Christmas holidays. You have to have cookies. A rug would not fit in this kitchen. I don't know what I was trying to do. I was thinking of using one of those photo booth photos, but I decided that they probably wouldn't work. Those snow globe things. I really like those. I wish we had another item like that, where it's like that square version of a snow globe. I wanted a light up there, but I couldn't find one that I liked at all. I really hope I remembered a thermostat. If not, go and add one. But as you can see, I'm just cluttering up lightly. I didn't want too much clutter because one, a lot of the clutter that I have is like repetitive, so I didn't want to use too much, but I did want to make it look lived in a little bit. So I just kind of straightened some things out, and I tried to incorporate that white and that red scheme in this kitchen a lot more, and the green, a hint of green. And I sized down a Christmas tree for the third time. I think it looks lovely in there. And I tried to use a different color than the one in the living room. Those rugs are so nice. Here it is. This is where I switched the rugs because I saw the other one from high school years and I thought it looked perfect in this living room, the fuzzy with the other fuzzy rug. And then you can see here I'm gonna change that the staircase underneath. I was gonna knock it out and not have it there, but I kind of liked the solidity of it, so I kept it. I was trying to find something Christmas-like, and I think that's Christmas-like, so I just kept it. Back in the day, I used to have this CC, and it was like sheet music, and I used to put it on top of the pianos, but I don't have it anymore. I wish I knew where it was. I had to delete my game like 4 times and re-download it. I have everything backed up, but it was a long time ago. Those shelves were not working. I really wanted something on that wall, like big, because it's such a small room. So I was thinking of a mirror, but I don't think I actually tried one before I just decided to put that little shelf in another window. And I think I added like a painting or something for that room, but I was really trying to figure out if it was too much on the inside too. So I took out the inside garland. We need more Christmas images. I was gonna go on the gallery and find some, but I didn't know if I could find anything I really liked. So I just went with the base game, those photos that they recently updated. Or not recently, it was like 6 months ago they updated them. Now we're getting to my favorite part. The kids' bedroom is my favorite part of this whole house. And kids' bedrooms are they're either a hit or a miss for me. When I'm building for I was playing a Legacy Family last year, off YouTube, of course, but I could not get their bedrooms to reflect the characters I wanted them to be. So this is always a hit or a miss, and I think this time it just kind of came to me. I love that bed. That base game bed matches up with these. I think they're from Get Together. Those nightstands so beautifully. I contemplated adding a desk, but I decided then that they were child Sims, and I think like a work table would have worked better. I wish I know you could just put two of the kids' activity tables together, but I think that the one being like by itself, I think it's kind of cool with having two chairs on either side. I think it just kind of added something. And I like those chairs from, I think, Parenthood. I could be wrong. It could be from Kids Room stuff, but they're nice chairs. They really reflect like a kid, and they're not too adultish, which I like because we don't have too many kids' chairs like that in The Sims. And as you can see, I'm starting to mold personalities. Like, I figured this was the boys' bed. And I envisioned two kids, like I said earlier, that are like preteens. And I think that one of them is a girl, and she's like pretty girly, and she likes clothes and fashion. She likes to do her nails, and she likes to play dress up a lot, which is why I added that little bin of clothes, because I figured when I was a kid, I had a bin of dress up clothes kind of similar in like a white wicker thing. So it was like a perfect nod to myself and to childhood. And I put the closet right by her bed because I'm thinking like she probably has more clothes than he does. And that pink and green as the accent colors kind of made a lot of sense. And I didn't know if it matched the bed, but I kept it and I really liked the way it turned out, especially here where I add the matching chairs. Because I just thought that they could have like a little bit of like a cozy area. Because it is a vacation home, so the parents probably aren't worried as much about the kids getting sleep and the TV in the room. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to put in that little corner, but then I decided a video game might work because the boy, Sim, is into gaming. I think he's into gaming, and I think he's into, like, not like arts and crafts, but he likes to draw. I think that's like his second hobby. And I wanted a Christmas tree in the kids' room because I have a Christmas tree in my room and I love it. And I know when I was a kid, I wanted a big tree in my room. Even though my room was tiny, I had no room for a tree. And I think it's about almost finished here because I don't do too much more on the inside. And then I go and do I think I do a couple of things. Like I have to paint the walls and stuff, but furniture wise, I was pretty much done. I liked adding the dollhouse and I liked using the red swatch because I feel like it kind of tied in that pink and red area. I added a high chair because I was thinking of adding a toddler. And you can easily switch out either side of the room to have a toddler bed. And you could just add like another dresser or something for the extra space. I was originally gonna make the one sim a toddler, the female sim. I think I was gonna age her down to a toddler and switch out the bed. But I deleted that footage because it just wasn't working and I didn't like the layout of the room as much. Normally I try to put both beds against the wall fully, so I was really surprised where I left the open space on the one side, but I don't regret it because I think it looks so nice. And if you notice with the wallpaper how it's not really like kiddish, I was thinking that like they redid the attic when they had kids and they just never got around to painting the walls. And it used to be like just like a cozy room or something. I do go back and fix this because I actually came back in today, I think, and fixed this a little bit because you'll see in a minute there's like once I finished there was like nothing on the porch, so I had to go back and add some stuff. But the landscaping, I tried to keep it simple because I know that the plants aren't gonna be very visible in the winter and then in the summer that they have to kind of match. But I always think it's winter in this world, so I really didn't think it mattered too much, but I really just wanted to make sure nothing was clipping or anything. And I didn't add too much because landscaping is not my strong suit yet. I was gonna add this ice rink, but I didn't. I have restraint. Um, but I liked the idea that like their house was kind of on a hill so that the kids could still go sledding even though they lived right next to like the resort area and they lived right next to the slopes. I just liked that they had like their own kind of mini hill for like practice. And I didn't add like a backyard area or anything because I wasn't picturing that. I was just kind of picturing like cabin in the woods with like a long driveway, not like a big yard or anything. So here is where I like kind of finished for a little bit. And I was stuck for a good 10 minutes as I was trying to figure out how to decorate the front porch. But I eventually figured it out. I think that's the build all finished up. I really did like making this, and I think that it was nice for my first build on YouTube. I will do more build videos in the future. Comment down below if you guys liked it. If I could do anything to improve, but whether it be the speed of the building, if it went too fast or too slow for you, if you want screenshots at the end, stuff like that, just let me know. You can find this on the gallery under the name Stacy Lynn 2700. I have other builds in there if you want to check them out too. And I think I have a couple of Sims over there. But I will do more build videos in the future, I think, because I do like this build a lot. And I like the way it turned out, especially the kids' room and the kitchen, I think, are two of my favorite parts of this entire build besides the bathroom. And if you guys have any suggestions, like build challenges or anything you want me to do, just comment them down below. And also comment if you got to this point, just let me know what your favorite part of the build was, what room was your favorite. I just want to interact with you guys. I hope you guys do enjoy this though. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!